Industrialization, we all are going to start learning from Burkina Faso. We must actually look at what Trump has done to his own kind. Donald Trump will even send an aeroplane to South Africa to go and airlift racist Afrikaners and relocate them in America. And you as African presidents are watching this as if it is some big surprise. Shame on you. If I were you, I would hire an aeroplane and go and park it in New Orleans, park it in New York City, park it in Mississippi and Missouri and California, and say any African who is there who wants to come back home, come back home. There's enough land on the continent for all of them. See, when you see white people doing their things, they do it well. It is you, stupid African leaders, who lack brains, even to read the seasons. It's time now. What Trump has done, I want 54 aeroplanes from each African country going into America and picking up our children and bringing them back home. Those who feel that they cannot live.
Wow, what a powerful and wisdom words from Joshua Maponga. My dear lovely family friends, if you're new in this platform, make sure that you subscribe to join the movement. And if you have already subscribed, share this video to other Africans so that they can get this powerful message. And also like the video. My dear lovely family friends, fellow Africans, as you heard from Joshua Maponga, this is a time for Africans around the globe to come together and unite. Maponga has spoken one thing that is very, very important. What Trump has done to white South Africans, we must also, Africans, do for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. We have seen Captain Ibrahim Traoré invited and pick a plot and land for African diaspora who want to come back to Burkina Faso. So we wish other African leaders to do the same. We have intellectuals in the diaspora. We have good people in the diaspora. But we Africans who are in the continent, especially our leaders, are not ready to work with our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. One day I said, our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, they don't need our money. They want to contribute. They want to support this movement. But due to these political leaders who feared to lose power, they are not allowing African diaspora to come back. You know, one thing that this Western power did to us is to divide us through these political parties. And we know very well that political parties is a tool that is dividing Africans. So when African diaspora want to come back home in some countries, you start hearing politicians say, you know, these people, if they come, they will maybe contesting for presidents because they fear that because our brothers and sisters, some of them have acquired quality and good education. So that's what make many of our political leaders fear. So there's nothing to fear. Those are our brothers and sisters. Those are our relatives. When they come back home, they're coming to support us. They're coming to build their nation. We saw what happened in Burkina Faso. Doctors, engineers, professionals are coming back home. As I speak to you now, my dear lovely family, right now, everything is under construction in Burkina Faso. African diaspora are contributing money. One thing we must understand, our brothers and sisters have said they don't need our money. They want to be part of our movement. They want to be part of development. They feel happy to come back home. You know, one day I was watching on television, one of the biggest football player of Real Madrid, Vinicius Jr., traced his DNA. He found his DNA. He came from Cameroon. So, but he was born in Brazil, but he came from Cameroon. So just imagine if Vinicius Jr. is playing for Cameroon. So you can see, but he's playing for Brazil. Why? Because the ancestors were taken from Cameroon to Brazil by colonizers. So we need our brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora to come back home to work with us. It is possible. Those development that we desire, those creativity and the innovation that we are talking about will not come to Africa if we don't collaborate and working with our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. One thing that I wonder from Africans, we are happy to work with Chinese, we are happy to work with Europeans, we are happy to work with Russian and others instead of working together. You know, one thing that Africans, as I said, we have self-hate. We have self-hate. We have made to hate each other, to hate ourselves. That's why sometimes you see Africans bleaching their color, trying to make their color like whites. Why? Because we hate ourselves. But if we love ourselves the way you see white people loving themselves, Maponga has given an example of Mr. Trump, that you see how Trump is a white man, love fellow white man. So when he feel that fellow white men and women are maybe mistreated, he sent a plane to pick up those white people. Because what he want to see white people living in a good way, not being disturbed. But just imagine if it was Africans. How many African leaders have been condemned? The issue of Floyd, George Floyd, when he was assassinated. We kept silent. Right now, as I said, as I speak to you, no any African leaders who spoken about America accusation to Burkina Faso. We kept silent. And what we are doing is to invite Mr. Langley to our countries. What have we said about accusation made by America on South Africa, that there's white genocide in South Africa? Any African leader who said there's white genocide in South Africa? We fear. We Africans, we don't love each other. And that's why you saw Libya was destroyed under our watch. Gaddafi was assassinated under our watch. The same two parties, Emily Lumumba was assassinated under our watch. Captain Ibrahim Traoré survived more than 20 assassination attempts under our watch, and we said nothing except young people who came out into the street, demonstrated. That's what we see. But where is our African leaders? What are they doing? Why they are keeping silent? And why they fear to speak as long as if they will not die? We will die. The time will come, even if you keep silent for 100 and thousands years. If the time will come for you to die, you will die. Recently, you heard from President Museveni, confessed and apologized for what he has done. So the time will come. You know, one thing that we Africans, we think what happened maybe in Sudan will not happen to us. Remember in the 1994, when genocide happened in Rwanda, no one thought that the same thing will happen to Sudan. Right now, Sudans are fighting each other, brothers against brothers. That things happened long time ago in Rwanda, but we thought that is for Rwandese. But today, what's happening in Sudan? Both Sudan, South Sudan and Sudan Khartoum, brothers fighting against brothers. What's happening in DRC? Africans fighting against Africans. So if we think to keep silent without talking about what is happening, that you are safe, you are not safe. You are not safe. We need to work together. We need to love one another. As Maponga said, what we have learned from Trump, we learn nothing from the history. Let us come to the issue of investment. We have resources, as Maponga said. We have everything. We have minerals, we have water, we have horrible land, we have fertile land. We have everything. But what are we doing as Africans? Do we have a common ground to discuss about our resources, that you have uranium, I have gold, I have copper? So as a region or as a continent, how can we benefit from these resources? What we are doing is to go to China, to go to Europe, to go to America, to start telling them, I have critical minerals, come and invest. They're coming. They're coming, they're taking resources. Your children are dying into Mediterranean seas, in the desert, when they're trying to go to where those resources are going. We are exporting jobs. We are creating death here in the continent of Africa. Because if you export jobs, it means you are creating environment where young people who have no job will start looking for the job out there. And they use illegal means to go there, they move through these local boats, they drown into Mediterranean seas, into oceans, they die into deserts because of you. So we have to change, my dear lovely family. What we are doing is not right. We need to make sure that we create good environment for young men and women. And for these years, who have expected that Burkina Faso can manufacture electric cars, who has idea that maybe one day in these years, Burkina Faso can create their own clothes, who in this era has to think that Burkina Faso can create their own drones. Recently, you heard the story of a young Zimbabwean, Mr. Chikumbuso, who discovered a machine that can convert radio waves into energy. Yeah, you see? But have you heard anything from our leaders? Maybe the African Union, maybe SADC region, talking about that young intelligent, that we have this young man, we need to equip him, we need to support him, we need to create or to take him to a college to teach other Africans. Yes, we know innovation is from the heart, but what have we done to make sure that if this man will not be there, how can we continue to have that kind of machines? Have you done anything? Maybe we are doing secretly, but there's nothing you can hide. But we know we have done nothing. Why? Because we hate each other. We don't love one another. We think that is a man from Zimbabwe. So he has nothing for us maybe in Uganda, or for us in Kenya, or maybe for us in Mozambique. That's what we think. But if he was an American, you may see. Look, Elon Musk. All of us, we know that Elon Musk came from South Africa. But because he is white people pick him and brought him to America, come here and do things for white people. But what about we Africans? So we need to support our intelligent people. We need to support our innovators. We need to work together. That is what we need to do as Africans. Right now we are talking about industrialization. What is our strategy as Africans? Maybe SADC. Which industry that SADC has can be proud that in SADC we have this big industry owned by Africans? What are we producing? Go to ECOWAS. What are we producing? Cocoa. But chocolate are made outside. West Africa is famous for cocoa, but our chocolate are being manufactured outside of the continent. Why don't West Africa be the hub of chocolate? We are talking about minerals. Congo has everything. But what Congo is producing, a part of producing raw materials and wars and conflict. Congo is famous for conflict and wars. But Congo has everything. Has big river Congo, has forest, has horrible land, has all kind of minerals that you know. That's the world need. But what Congo is doing, only producing conflicts and wars. But what have we done, and what is our, maybe Congo itself cannot sustain. It needs all of us. What are we doing when we meet at African Union about Congo? Instead of talking about conflict, what are we talking about? Development. We are still under the colonialism because we cannot decide for our own. So we fear to decide. And that's why I said we are still saying nothing. African Union said nothing about Burkina Faso. about Niger, about Mali, about South Africa. African Union said nothing. And that's why I remember Madam Naledi Pandor said that at one time South Africa threatened to withdraw from African Union. You may see. So we need, as Africans, to come together, to unite, to speak with one voice. We need Africa that has a single army, a united Africa. That's what we want as Africans. Young people right now are awakening. If our leaders don't know this, they are going to be shocked. They are going to be shocked by young people. What young people are asking difficult questions. How is it possible we have God, but we don't know how to process God? How is it possible that we have tin, we have aluminium, but we are not manufacturing cars? How is it possible that we have copper, but we are not producing wires? How is it possible that we have everything? We have liver, we have horrible land, but we are fed by others. It's not about the issue of people to go in. It's about the issue of policies, rightful leadership. If Burkina Faso has succeeded, what's wrong for South Africa? If Niger has succeeded, what's wrong for other countries? So we want Africa that is supporting young people, supporting innovation and creation. As Maponga said, we wish one day to see the Africa that producing students or graduates who are creating jobs, not graduates who are moving with envelope trying to seek jobs, or who are moving on internet cave or on internet trying to ask for job. We want young people who will be innovators, because we have everything. We want to see young people working in our uranium, in our gold, in our diamond, in our coal, in our lithium. We want to see big industries hiring our young people. We want to see young people feed themselves. Right now, if you look, Africans, you cannot differentiate between women and men. All of them have become fat. Why? Because of the way we eat. We are eating more GMO food. We are eating this artificial food. We are not eating natural food. Why? Because we are fed by others. We are fed by other people. We are not feeding ourselves. All of us, we are sick. If you look Africans on the street, you see them, many of them are sick. Not because they have maybe diseases, it's because the way they are eating. Food. We have been colonized even in food right now. So we need Africans to change all these things. Let us act as Africans. Let us come together. Let us having a Pan-Africanism spirit to change things. My dear lovely family, friends, fellow Africans, please share this video to other Africans. Share this video to our leaders. This is a big up message, and this is one of the powerful messages that must reach all our leaders. We want changes. We want the Africa that is working. We want Africa that is stable. We want Africa that is at peace. Up to that, let me say, stay in power. See you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa. Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, freedom. Thank you, Africa.